What language do you usually think in? For bilinguals, the answer is usually, well, it depends. But the most interesting thing is, are your thoughts different when you think in different languages? This is because different languages categorize our reality differently. Let us look at the following situation. It is Sunday, the 14th of February, and the question is, when will it be Friday next week? Looking at the calendar, you probably have some answer by now. But the answer is not so straightforward when people from different cultures speaking different languages try to come to an agreement. This is an actual conversation between myself and a colleague from Israel. When she says that Friday next week will be the 26th, I think she has made a simple mistake. But no, she hasn't. In Israel, Saturday is the holiday, and the week starts on Sunday. So, technically, for her, I am still in the last week, while for me, she's already in the next week. This is because different languages categorize time differently. And it is not only time. It could be space, color, motion, gender, or common objects. Let us look at some other examples. You will now see how speakers of different languages name the object in the picture in their native languages. The question is this a chair? In English, the answer is fairly obvious. If something is called an armchair, it most definitely is a chair. Some special kind of a chair, perhaps, but still a chair. But is it called a chair in other languages as well?
Is this a chair?
No.
What is it?
It is a more cooler version of a chair. Because in Russian we have two separate words for that.
What are the words?
Stool is for chair and kresla is for this.
Okay. Is this a chair?
Yes.
No,
What is it?
it's a kind of sofa for us. In Turkish, we call it sofa, but a small sofa.
What's the word in Turkish?
Koltuk.
Okay.
Yes, it's a chair.
How would you call this in Egyptian?
Fauteuil. We use the French word for it in Egypt because of the French occupation.
Do you have other word for chair?
Yeah, we have the normal one, like kursi.
Mm-hmm.
That's the normal word, but this specific one looks, it has a specific name.
In Germany, it would be a Sessel, an armchair, I guess would be more correct. A chair is more functional, more simple than this picture or this object.
So what do the different languages do with this object? Only the speaker of Mandarin Chinese says it is a chair. To all the speakers of the other languages, it is not. So what is it? Russian, Egyptian Arabic and German have a different word for it, while the speaker of Turkish says it is a kind of a sofa. A small sofa, but a sofa, not a chair. To the speakers of Russian, Arabic and German, it is not a chair either. It is a separate category of its own. Now, let's watch another video with the same speakers naming two color boxes. The question now is, are they the same color or different?
Please name the color of these boxes.
Dunkelblau. In German, it would be dunkelblau and hellblau, or dark blue and light blue.
In Turkish,
Yes.
açık mavi, koyu mavi, or lacivert for the dark blue. Because we have both dark blue and light blue in Turkish, and açık mavi, koyu mavi. But we also have another name, lacivert, again means to dark blue.
浅蓝与深蓝
Is it the same color?
Yes.
So in Russian, these are two separate colors. This is голубой and синий. But in English, I would say that it's blue and light blue.
Dark blue or blue and sky blue, so two different shades of blue.
So are they the same color?
Same color, different shade.
Okay. How would be the names in your language?
The first, the dark one, will be azra, which means blue, and the other one will be azra samawi, like
With an adjective.
referring to the sky.
Now, all the speakers except one give the same answer. It is the same color, but two different shades of it, light blue and dark blue. The only exception in our sample is Russian, which has two different names for the two color boxes, sini and голубой. These are not two different shades of the same color, but two different colors, two different categories. A speaker of Russian sees two different colors, where the speakers of the other languages see just different shades of the same color. Let us have one more example. In the slide, you can see a set of common objects labeled in 3 languages. You will now see how the different languages assign these objects to different categories. First, let's look at how English categorizes these objects. The objects on the left are called glasses. Glasses are made of glass. The object in the upper left-hand corner is called szklanka in Polish. It is made of glass. In Polish, glass is called szkło. Szkło, szklanka. So the Polish name of the object also emphasizes its quality of glassness, of being made of glass. But the other object on the left is called a different name in Polish, even though it is also made of glass. This is where the similarity between Polish and English ends. The objects on the right are all called cups or mugs in both English and Polish. Now, if you look at Russian, it is all different. All the objects at the top are called stakan in Russian, and only 2 of the objects in the slide would be categorized as either cups or mugs. There is no mention of glassness or being made of glass here. While English categorizes objects on the basis of the material, Russian categorization is entirely based on shape. all the objects called stakan in Russian have a basically similar shape. These examples show that different languages have different categories. Learning a new language is not just learning new words for familiar things. You must also learn what categories of objects these words stand for. Linguistic categories correspond to concepts in the mind. If you look at the picture on the left here, you instantly know what this icon stands for, and you have a word for it. You can name it. You also know this is an animal that goes bow wow and wags its tail when it's happy. This means you recognize what category of beings it belongs to, and you have some knowledge of how animals belonging to this category differ from other animals. In other words, you have a concept of a dog in your mind, and you also have a word for it represented in the mind. Now, the essential question is, and what happens if you have two or more languages in your mind? In the example, when we think of an animal like a dog, you probably have one concept of a dog and just two different names for it. But this is not always the case, since, as we have seen so far, different languages categorize our world differently. So, when you learn another language, a number of things can happen. First, there is a possibility that you acquire a new word, but not a corresponding concept. Take a word like kurdybanek in Polish. All I know about kurdybanek is that it is a blue flower, but I have never seen it, or even if I saw it, I would probably not be able to recognize it. I have no concept of kurdybanek. The second possibility is that we acquire new words in the second language corresponding to familiar concepts like dog, variable, or statistics. The third possibility is that we acquire new words together with new concepts, like, for example, Vegemite. I have eaten it. I know what it tastes like. I have a concept of Vegemite. Finally, we might acquire new words and gradually modify the concepts we already have. Take a word like blue. We already know that an English blue is not the same as a Russian or a Greek blue. Then we have words for emotions like grief or insecurity, which frequently have a somewhat different meaning in different languages. We have so far talked about lexical concepts, which will usually be expressed by different words in different languages, but there are also grammatical concepts, that is, concepts expressed by different grammatical forms. In the slide, you can see a news item from a Polish broadcaster. The title of the scoop says that there were 2 fatal traffic accidents in the area and 2 cyclists have been killed. Now, let us focus on the expression 2 cyclists. Dwoje rowerzystów in Polish. The question is, were the cyclists male or female? if you speak English, you don't know, because the expression two cyclists does not tell you anything about the cyclist's gender. But if you speak Polish, this is an entirely different story, because Polish has different grammatical forms for different genders. So dwie rowerzystki means two females. Dwóch rowerzystów means two males. And dwoje rowerzystów would usually mean a male and a female, or alternatively, it could also be used to talk about an adult and a child. So in this news item, the cyclists were actually a man and a woman. Importantly, these grammatical distinctions are obligatory in the language, which means that a speaker of Polish must pay attention to the gender of the persons each and every time they describe an action. In different languages, grammatical concepts may encode relationships such as tense and aspect, number, gender, personhood, animacy, and so on and so forth. So, to sum up, different languages categorize the reality differently. Linguistic categories correspond to concepts in the mind. Speakers of different languages may have different lexical or grammatical concepts. And learning a new language means acquiring new concepts.